So, are we ready for the jury?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
You're on witnesses in the courtroom, Joe Danzer, is that okay?
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
Can, let's see. No. I don't know who this copy is. Is this the intern copy? Oh, no, you can give that to Chase and Claire. Yes. You may be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Was everybody able to follow my instructions and admonitions over the break?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Ridgecrest, call your next witness.
Joe Danzer.
You raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you will give in these proceedings will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
You may proceed.
Joe, will you please spell your last name for the record?
Sure, it's Danzer.
And what do you do for a living?
I do a type of photography, creating virtual tours, mostly for marketing purposes for businesses.
Okay. And how long have you been doing that?
I've been doing it for 7 years.
Can you explain to us what that means, virtual tour?
Sure. Basically, I do a type of photography that allows me to take multiple images and create a 360-degree view, very similar to Google Street View, that allows you to stand in the center of that view and see a representation as if you were standing in that spot. And I do that for businesses, and in this case, for Charlie, to help represent a space as it's seen with more detail than just a single photograph.
And how do you create the image so that you can manipulate on the computer as if you're there and look 360?
Sure. So it's not a type of video or anything. It's basically I set a tripod up, I use a standard camera, and I take multiple images in a 360 circle, and I then stitch those images together to create the view.
Okay. And you did do a virtual tour of the Richardson home in this case, correct?
Yes.
And did you also create virtual tour instructions so that a user could operate the virtual tour on a laptop if they chose?
Yes.
And may I approach, Sean?
You may.
The marked as Defendant's Exhibit Triple P, are those the instructions?
Yes, they are.
Could we, on that laptop, can you access your virtual tour for us
Yes.
of the Richardson home?
Yeah.
Okay. So, are you able to walk to the front door?
Yes.
Is that possible?
I think we're currently standing near the front door. If I turn around 180 degrees, you'll see the entrance of the home, the front door.
Do you have an image right outside, like you're walking into the house?
No, we took images all indoors except for the rear of the house.
Okay, so this is the front door that we're looking at right now?
Yes, it is.
And you can manipulate that just by scrolling or holding down and scrolling?
Yes, you can simply click and drag in the direction that you would like to view.
Okay. Could you take us to the next blue dot would be the next spot where you set up your tripod camera, correct?
That's correct.
Could you take us to that, please? And could you take us into the living room? Okay. Can you turn, do you know where the Richardson, Scott, and Kim's bedroom is?
Yes, it is here.
you able to go inside that room? Okay. Can you turn so that we're looking towards the backyard? So that would be the backyard?
That's correct.
Okay. And turn, if you don't mind, staying in the room. You don't need to go to the next blue dot. Can you look back out in the living room from their room? Thank you. Can you walk us from spot to spot as if you're going up the stairwell? So that's the front door again? Okay, so now we're at the top of the stairs. Can you, the blue dot in the center of the screen, do you know whose room that is?
I know it's the young man's room.
Oh, can you, okay, so that bedroom B would be Jackson's room, Skylar's brother.
Jackson, that's correct.
The dot on the right, can you just put without going there, just put your cursor there, that's Skylar's room.
That's correct.
Can you keep turning without changing your position? And show us where the bathroom is. Okay, and you can click those blue dots and you can be in the bathroom on the virtual tour, is that correct?
That is correct.
Can you walk us into Skylar's room? Okay, so this is Skylar's room as it appeared on the date that you created the virtual tour, is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. On here, are you able to show us did you correlate the tour with the actual floor plans of the home?
I did. As per the instructions, there is a few tools on the left-hand side of the screen, and the middle one is the show floor plan.
Okay. Are you able to show us that live? Okay. So how did you get there?
On the left-hand side of the screen, those tools are available for you to turn on the floor plan. You can then close the floor plan with the X, or you can go back to the other floors and see each individual image by choosing the different floors and the exterior of the home at the bottom.
Okay, and this is the floor plan of the Richardson home?
Yes.
Can you do us a favor and go back into the tour and walk us outside of the home?
Sure.
Through the rear. You walk us towards the middle of the yard. Do you know approximately how many feet each button or a blue dot is?
We did kind of make an average from here to the tree line, and my best estimate would be roughly between 15 and 20 feet per
dot.
per walking path. Yep.
And slowly, can you just do a 360, just slow turn here and toward the middle of the yard, just so we can see the surroundings standing in the middle of the yard? So that's the home. There are a couple neighbors' homes to the right, to the left, and more to the left. And then that's the tree line, right?
Yes.
And you put this tour on a thumb drive for the jury, is that correct?
That is correct.
And so if they were interested in doing this themselves, looking at the home, the plans, how would you recommend, they'll have a computer in the back, how would you recommend that they do that?
Sure. As per the instructions, the best way to do so is to first copy the virtual tour to the computer. It is currently in a zip file. Unzip that file onto the computer. And then, per the instructions, I've made it as easy as possible to simply double-click one file, and that will open the entire tour, and you'll see the exact same thing you're seeing that I'm using here. And there's also instructions to get to the different areas easily to view the imagery.
Thank you. Can we toggle it to the Elmo? Can we toggle to the Elmo? Thank you. Did you also take a few photographs of the Richardson home
Yes, I took a
at
few
our request?
at your request.
This is photograph previously been marked as Defendant's Exhibit P. Which toilet is that?
That's the one that we viewed in the upstairs bathroom.
And this would be, you took that photograph, correct?
I did.
And this would be a measuring tape at the deepest part of the toilet through the little hole at the bottom that where the water is just past 4 inches, is that right?
That is correct.
All right, and this is a fair and accurate depiction of the toilet upstairs in that bathroom next to Jackson's bedroom.
Yes, it is.
And I'm gonna show you what's been previously marked as Defense Exhibit Q. Same tape measure, same toilet.
Yes.
And this is where the water has a bigger circumference and the water level's about 1 inch.
That is correct.
And you can see towards the top of the tape measure that toilet rim is what, about 8 inches?
Yes.
Fair and accurate depiction of the toilet next to Jackson's bedroom in that bathroom.
Yes.
No further questions, Your Honor.
No questions, Your Honor. Thank you, sir. You can step down. Next witness.
Your Honor, the defense rests.
Any rebuttal on behalf of the state?
No, Your Honor.
Ladies and gentlemen, the evidence in the case is now closed, but we are not yet to the point where you are ready to render a decision. So we are going to break for the day. During this break, you get to go home, so that's the good news. We are going to reconvene tomorrow at 9 o'clock. Extra cautions for tonight, all of the same cautions apply, okay? But extra cautions because, and I've told you this already a couple of times, now that you say to yourself, well, I have all the evidence, I can start thinking about how I should decide the case, and that's not how it works. You still need to give the attorneys the opportunity to argue the case to you, and you also are going to get the instructions of law. So don't start talking about how the case should be decided. Don't talk about it with the folks at home or let them talk about it in your presence. Don't do any research. Don't go to the websites that we have talked about. Don't drive by the Eagle Ridge address. And if you get here early tomorrow, don't start talking about the case until you are instructed to do so. And we will follow our same pattern. Let's be here at 8:45 tomorrow with the idea that we will start at 9 o'clock. Mr. Mullins, you can take the jury out. First order of business tomorrow morning. Mr. Mullins, I don't know when you want to take care of this because you will be deliberating during the lunch time tomorrow after closings and legal arguments. Mr. Mullins is going to go ahead and get your order, and we will go ahead and place your order so it will be ready for you after closing arguments and instructions. So, Mr. Mullins, if you need to get them there a couple of minutes early tomorrow to get their orders and stuff together, that might make sense, but I would like to get started as close to 9 o'clock tomorrow as possible. All right. Good night. You may be seated. All right, we are on the record outside the presence of the jury with regard to exhibits. We have been through all the exhibits already, and there is going to be some version of AA, BB, EE, and FF that will be admitted. We just haven't figured out exactly what the redacted version of that is going to look like, so we should know that in a minute. Mr. Knippen, Ms. Kraft, no objection to QQ, right? That is the virtual tour.
No, Your Honor.
And then we had we had 4P, P. which is the instructions. No objections on the instructions.
Your Honor.
And then there were 2 additional photographs, but I don't know what they were marked. Well, oh, there they are, single P, single Q.
Correct.
All right, single P and single Q will be admitted. All right, anything else to talk about while we are on the record?
No, Your Honor.
No, Judge.
All right, let's plan on reconvening in chambers at 3 o'clock. We will discuss jury instructions, any other issues. I told you an hour for closings, right?
I believe that's correct, Your Honor.
Is that what we're doing, an hour? I'd like 45 minutes, but no, an hour?
I think it'll be shorter, but we have an hour just to be safe.
All right, an hour it is.
Thanks, Judge.
Anything else?
No, Your Honor.
All right, I'll see you in about 10 minutes.
Oh, Your Honor. Is Skylar permitted to leave?
Yeah, we're done on the record for today.
Thank you.
So, I mean, I'm going to adjourn court. We're not coming back in today. All right, that's all.